Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another massive 13,000 man online battle. Today we have a 3v2, me and Apollo playing as the Sylvan and High Elves with our last defense up in the mountain pass right here, defending the valley and up here. And then up against us we have two Orc players and an Isengard player. Their armies numbering almost or over 9,000 soldiers, and me and Apollo have, I believe, 4,000 soldiers between us. So it's going to be absolutely crazy. And let me tell you, this was one of the closest online battles I have ever fought on Third Age. It goes completely down to the wire, is absolutely crazy, and yeah, you guys aren't going to know who's going to win until they actually do. So let's run through the army comps. If you want to skip this, then there'll be a timestamp in the description. You can click and that just jump you straight to the beginning of the battle. So Apollo is playing as the High Elves. He has on his front line some of these elite spearmen. Our main plan was just to kind of hold this alleyway and then also hold the mountain pass up to the top. As well as that, here's some more spearmen up here, going to be holding this other mountain pass as the urukai and uruks move through this side, trying to outflank us. I then supported him. I have 2 units of these heavy Sylvan archers over here and a unit of spearmen to go ahead and support his push right there. Then we also, if we go up and look at the rest of my army first, I have 3 units of the Sylvan Elf spearmen moving down a catapult up here. Then I have 2 units of these woodland warriors. These are really good at armor piercing, so these guys are going to be perfect at dealing with the urukai. Then we have some of my more elite Sylvan Elves right up here. These guys are heavy swordsmen, and let me tell you, they are absolutely sick in melee combat. Then over here we have some more Sindar archers. Again, my best archers, my best archer force. Then I have 2 of my weaker Sentinel of the Woodland Realm. These guys are much weaker than anything else, but they can still do huge amounts of missile damage. Absolutely devastating shots. Then I have my Sylvan Heavy Archers, again can hold their own in melee combat. And then some more Sylvan Spearmen, which are going to be holding this. Now, the rest of Apollo's army, you may be like, Jackie, you kind of just skimmed over Apollo's army. Well, basically, he is deploying his soldiers kind of like in a rushing to the battlefield. So he has all his soldiers still up here. He has some of his Mifflin Nobles, again, a really nice looking unit. Then he has some more of his archers up here. And more soldiers around here. He has some more of his, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, some more archers. And some more soldiers around here, just a ton of high elf warriors ready to die and fight. Also has Ballistai as well, and he's going to be marching to the battlefield. We kind of wanted his force to be turning up late, just to make it even harder for ourselves, because we know that the uruks and urukai don't really do too well. Like Isengard's quite good, but the rest of the orcs aren't that great. So as we look at the Isengard army, you can see there's some crossbows right here, a load of pikemen, some snag archers right here. These are more of a meat shield force. Some awesome looking urukai with a catapult. We have some more uruks down here. We have some guards of Orthanc. These guys are super elite, and I believe they actually have the general in. They do indeed. Some more uruks down here. Then if we look at the Mordor army as we move further down, we can just, because I just want to run over these guys. I don't want to go into detail in every single unit, because you guys have seen Third Age enough. I just want to kind of show you the basis of these guys bringing. We did set rules of only taking 2 trolls per player, so you're going to see like a ton of Olokai and just normal trolls as well. So yeah, if we look at they have Orc Raiders, they have some normal cave trolls, then they have some Olokai. These guys are obviously absolute monsters. Some more basic Orc Raiders and some Uruk Raiders as well, or Uruk Halberds as well, the more elite Orc units. Obviously, have some Black Númenóreans as well, so really strong general units there. As we move over more into the mountain pass, you can see that the Isengard player has split his army up to help out both the Orc players, which I think is a really smart move by him. Just having these more elite Uruks to fight with the weaker Orcs is a really smart move. So this Isengard player definitely did a good job there. So he has some Uruk Raiders right there. Moving through, he has some Wargs. Some more Uruk Raiders, heavy infantry, some Uruk pikemen as well, looking amazing. And some more Uruk Raiders. Then finally, if we look at the last army, the last Orc army, I know there is a ton of troops, and then we'll go on to normal speed and let this battle unfold. We have some more Orc band, just kind of weak units to absorb the ammunition of our elves, which is smart to do. Then as we go back, here's more elite Orc Raiders. As we go down, damn, there's just so many of them. It really is. They have like 10,000 soldiers. It's absolutely crazy. Then we have some more orc cave trolls right there, and some orc maulers with the axes. They're going to be good at armor piercing. Some more black Numenorians, and then finally we have some. I don't even know what this unit is. I haven't actually seen this unit before, but I imagine they're the really elite spearmen of the orcs or of Mordor, because they're right at the back, so I assume they're going to be good. But yeah, let's stick play. And the nice thing is as well, there's not going to be any lag in this battle either. Or at least there might be, but it's going to be very minuscule because, you know, Third Age, the graphics aren't the best in the world, even though I personally think they're amazing. Like, it's going to be a lot clearer than, say, the battles we've fought before. So the battle is going to kick off over here as the Uruks run in to try and close the distance as soon as possible. Them crossbows actually do a ton of damage, which is kind of scary. You can see quite a few of my elves are actually already dropping right now. I am returning fire because I want to make sure that I destroy the crossbows as soon as possible. But for now, I'm going to form a spear wall right here and just try and hold the Isengard army in place as you see my elves moving forward. They are going to engage. Now, this is kind of a bit bad for me because you can see there's gaps. And as you guys know, in Medieval 2 Total War, you can pull through pretty easily on units. So that's a really good way to overwhelm the enemy with your numbers. And some people say that's cheese, but I personally think it's, you know, that's a valid tactic. If you have more numbers and there's gaps, why should you not be able to run through them? If I don't have the forces to fully hold this position, then I shouldn't be holding this position. So this was kind of a bit of a mistake by my part, but I am trying to reinforce it. Me and Apollo didn't think they would send as many forces as they did up here, because there's half an Isengard army up here right now. And you got the entire Mordor army coming up here, or at least one of the Mordor armies moving up here. I will mention as well, they did have about 15k more than us, I believe, as well, just to kind of, again, give them a bit more of an advantage, because as we know, the orc factions aren't the best in the world. So we're going to begin off here. My archers are volleying overhead, as you can see, doing an amazing job. We do have some crossbow fire coming in, but my elves are going to be good. They're in shield wall, which is going to be giving them defense bonuses, and they're going to be able to hold this for some time now. And really, the main role of them is just to hold this position whilst my archers tear them apart. You can already see the amount of casualties they are taking just from advancing closer and closer. And then now we have the Olokai moving up, though. I'm going to be using my archers to try and pin them down. And I've got the majority of my army rushing up the hill. As I said, we didn't realize they'd have this many units up here. But the Olokai are going to be using their superior movement just to absolutely trample through onto my front line and hit the High Elves, or the Sylvan Elves, yeah. Hit the Sylvan Elves in the front and just completely demolish my front line. I'm going to be moving up my axemen to try and fill in these gaps. But again, you can see a few of them getting through onto my back line.
Defeat seems almost certain.
Thanks, advisor, telling us defeat seems almost certain. The battle's only just started, good sir. And he's saying that we're already going to lose, that we have more Olokai running in. And these Olokai are going to destroy my archers. That was really nice, managing to get through the gaps. I just didn't have the men to do so. However, this is going to be kind of good for us as well, because he's pushed his Olokai and his cave trolls all the way through, out of the support of the rest of his army. I'm going to be able to pin these guys down and, you know, kill these. You know, trolls are a really strong unit, but they're only really that great when they're supporting their army. So the fact that half the trolls are all the way out here, I can surround them and deal with them very easily, compared if he was attacking my front line with the support of these uruks. It'd be a lot more difficult for me to do so. So even though this is annoying, it's kind of silencing my archers, it's doing a lot of damage to these sentinels of the woodland realm. It's not the end of the world, and I'm kind of almost glad he's doing this, because I can get my archers to focus them down. I can move in these axemen, which are really good at armor piercing, and are going to be doing a lot of damage to the Olokai. So you can see they are dropping. There's some cave trolls falling there. I've got my Sindar heavy swordsmen fighting hard against them. And, you know, they're doing plenty of damage. And all this time, my archers are still racking up plenty of kills, whittling them down. If we look down at the valley, because we have kind of been focusing on my army and my engagement, whereas Apollo's army has been fighting hard against the orc advance. He's got into range of this kind of orc, I guess, advanced party, because the rest of the army is still very much coming, and we're only really fighting a few units right here. But as you can see, you know, his Sylvan Elves are these... Sorry, I keep on messing them up. These High Elves are going to be ready to to hold this line and not give up this choke point anytime soon. As well as that, we have some of my archers, which again have been caught by the cave trolls, which was a bad mistake by my part. He managed just to again overwhelm Apollo's spear formation and run forward through the gaps, which is again a very valid tactic and very smart. If we didn't have the men to protect this, we shouldn't have. And yeah, the cave trolls are going to be pushing on and doing plenty of damage. However, these Sylvan heavy archers are pretty good in melee combat, you know. So the fact that, you know, any elf in combat is still pretty decent. They're good with a bow and a sword. I am, however, going to try and fall them back. Apollo does have some reinforcements on the way. You can see he does have some Lindon long spears, which are basically pikemen. So I'm going to try and withdraw my forces as quickly as possible to get behind this and then just shoot over the top, trying to take care of these cave trolls. As well as that, you can see that Apollo is starting to get his line broken. I think I have my spearmen ready to fill in the gap, though. Yeah, I brought up some of my Sylvan Elf spearmen, which is, you know, kind of dangerous because I don't have a ton of men on top of this hill. So bringing over these spearmen is a risky move right now. Because this is what? Like 360 men right now I could have been using elsewhere up here up on the hill, which we'll go back and look at right now as the Isengard troops push forward. You can see that most patrols are dealt with now. The Mordor army is forming up now, and my god, look at that. Just look at that for a second. There is so many troops down there. This is absolutely crazy as they just more and more of them just pour in. And there, but you can see my line is actually starting to break now, which is really unfortunate. The sheer numbers are just overwhelming me. And that's, again, as I mentioned before, one of the things I love about the Medieval 2 engine, how weight of numbers really does matter. And that, you know, a few soldiers in a tight formation can hold back a large force. But eventually, they're just going to get pushed back and completely overwhelmed. And, oh my god, look at them just pouring in. There are so many soldiers right here fighting and dying. This is absolutely hectic, and I love it. So many warriors, you brave elves, hold them back. Fight for your lives. You see the balance of power at the moment. We've lost 20% of our forces and killed 30%. So overall, that's good. But as soon as the orcs and the uruks break our formation and it comes into a hectic fight where every soldier is just fighting tooth and nail for every single bit of land, you know, it's going to favor the orcs. Luckily, right now, my elven archers are having an absolute masterpiece of a day. They are just unleashing volley after volley after volley, and they are finding their targets. They can kind of almost shoot anywhere because of the sheer amount of soldiers right now, and they will be doing damage. But the sad thing is, look how many forces they still have left. You can see that up over here, I'm starting to run out of soldiers. I've got a few more spearmen to send, but my line is thinning right now. You can see that there's only like 3 or 4 units, you know, or 3 or 4 soldiers in the way before they break through. Whereas if we look back, you can see that they still have a ton of soldiers still to commit to the fight. There is like 6 or 7 units of uruks and orcs right there, with some more soldiers still marching up. We got berserkers down here, the Black Numenorians, and that's just on my side. Over here, over here you can see that the main orc army hasn't even arrived yet. It's still advancing and getting closer and closer to Apollo's position. So things are not looking good for us. I think the weight of numbers is going to just hurt us eventually. Apollo is pushing forward with his spearmen, but he has managed to break the center, and he's going to try and get a nice little envelopment on these uruks. Because again, if we can kill the uruk soldiers and the urukai, then that's going to, you know, leave just, you know, a much weaker force left. And Apollo's going to try and get a nice little surround here. I wouldn't be surprised if he forms shield from here just to try and hold up the enemy advance. My spearmen, as you can see, have now had to push in to try and fill in the gaps. The long spears are doing good. Up on this little ridge right now, this goddamn advisor is not a fan of me and Apollo trying to hold off. The weight of numbers is definitely not in our favor, and the advisors are not in our favor either. These long spears are good at holding tight gaps. So with the support of my archers, which you can see are over here volleying constantly, they're going to be trying their best, just shot after shot, to whittle them down. And that's really our only saving grace, is just our archers. We have to hope that our archers can pick off enough of the enemy forces to break them. And again, we could always cause a mass rout as well, which would be kind of nice. Which we are routing a few of their units. You can see my heavy swords moving forward, closing off the enemy. The archer fire continually going off, which is really brutal. And this Mordor player is going to try and get his cavalry, his general, through my lines. You can see there is a gap created, and he's going to be pushing forward. and trying to break this and trying to actually get round the side and hit my weaker sentinels, which is, again, a risky move, because if he gets his general killed here, that's going to rout his entire army. You know, the Mordor units don't have huge or high morale. So if I can kill his general here, which he has kind of sent him off to die almost, that's going to be good. But, you know, he can get a good charge off, do some damage to my archers. But overall, I think that was a really risky move. He's going to get an amazing charge into the back of my lines and whittle us down. So we've lost half of our soldiers, but the orcs have also lost half of their soldiers. So it's kind of, you know, the orcs have a lot more men. So we're definitely killing a ton of soldiers, but we're also losing a load of our own forces as well. I do manage to do a decent amount of damage with my archer fire to the general, but he's going to get out of there, which was so unfortunate. Because if I could have killed his general there, that would have routed a huge amount of these forces as the elves fight on. But unfortunately, that was not the case. And you can see, again, my line is thinning. We have managed to push back the uruks and the urukai from this position. We are trying to push on and get round the flank, but we just don't have the men to do so. And again, the advisor doesn't think we can do so also. And I'm talking to Apollo right now, and I'm like, I don't know how long I can hold him up here for. And Apollo's telling me just to hold. He's doing well over here. The trolls are committed right now, but the long spears are doing well to defeat them. And he's like, Jackie, try your best. Hold for as long as you can, but when you need to, fall back, and I will fall back as well. Because we feel like this isn't going to be the position that we give up. We will fall back and have a last stand, and it's an epic last stand as well. So as you can see, the enemy have lost half their men as well. The long spears are doing decently with the support of the elven swords. What are these guys called? Swords, or I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. So some elven swords as well helping them out. As well as that, Apollo does have his archers, which is a really smart move, shooting up onto this into the side. They are also receiving some missile fire. There's this ballistae shooting. But the numbers are just endless, constantly moving in. More and more orc raiders pushing in and just getting around the sides. You know, we just don't have the men to do this right now. He is sort of sending more of his swordsmen to try and support, but it's kind of a little bit too late, unfortunately. And the soldiers are just going to overwhelm us. Ballistae getting a decent amount of kills there. Actually, yeah, killing a couple soldiers every single shot, which is nice. And the reinforcements, I feel like, are just too late. If we look at my side right now, my numbers have failed. My line has failed. They're just overwhelming us right now. A few soldiers managing to stop a few of their advances, but there is just no escape for me. And this is where I tell Apollo, I'm like, Apollo, there is nothing I can do right now. They are upon me. We need to withdraw and get the hell out of here. And Apollo does give me the order very soon to fall back, and I think that's exactly what I'm starting to do now. I do decide to kind of try and slow them down and kill a few of these stragglers, because, you know, a small portion of this army has been cut off. You can see these uruks right here are actually fighting my general right now over the trolls, which looks amazing. I love the fact that the trolls are just dead laying on the floor as my Sindar swordsmen and archers fight. I managed to plug the gap, but it is only a matter of time, and my catapult gets a massive hit on my own soldiers, killing a ton of their soldiers, but also killing a ton of mine. And really, at this point in time, we don't need that. We need just to be killing loads of their soldiers without losing our men, because we only have like 1,000 men left at this point, maybe even less. The archers are still racking up so many kills. I mean, look at the dead bodies, just everywhere right now. Is crazy how many dead bodies are just scattering the field. The advance for the uruks and the urukai, but the numbers are just endless. More reinforcements moving in. Look at this. They've still got soldiers moving in, and I am just falling back with everything I have right now. I leave a bit of a forlorn hope. You brave elves will stand your ground and hold up the entire uruk army. God, this advisor does not like us one bit, but I'm going to take my force, what I have left. Maybe not even 100 men. I mean, not even 1,000 men. This is like 700 soldiers left, and I'm going to fall back. Apollo's going to do exactly the same with his forces, and we are just going to rush back and hold our last stand up on the hill.
Only half the enemy force remains.
You can see his Mithlon nobles are advancing back. Again, this unit looks so sick. It really does. Really cool. More of his units advancing back, and I'm going to leave, well, we're both going to leave a small couple of troops just ready to hold this line and try and slow them up so that the rest of our army can fall back and get into position and try their best. Some of my units are going to rout now, as it's just going to be too much. Without the support of the rest of the army, my men are going to get pushed back, especially with berserkers going in as well. That's just too much for us. I think Apollo is going to try his best to hold them up here. Oh, he actually managed to rout the forces up here, which is going to give his soldiers an easy time to fall back now. Which maybe the Uruk player could have stopped us from doing. But, you know, we did manage to fall back, which was good. And this is going to allow us just to get back, just get on the partial of this hill, and this will be our last stand. This is where we will fight them, and we will give our all. We will either die here, or we will claim victory. As the rest of the Orc armies are just advancing now. And once again, bloodied. We can take a second now just to look at the amount of casualties lying here. My God, there are so many bodies. It's absolutely disgusting. There's a catapult advance as well. I think we've definitely... Oh, let's see. Did we come out on top on that engagement so far? So we've lost 60% of our force, but they've lost 62%. And remember, this is the percent. So we're actually doing really good right now. Because, you know, it's not numbers. It's not how many numbers we've lost. It's the percentage of the army. So even though their percentages are much better, we are still doing okay. And, yeah, their numbers are tired. They're wounded. But they still have so many left. You can see down there, look how cool that is. Some of Apollo's cavalry is going to get caught by the wargs as they try and advance or retreat. And they're going to have to fight. As well as that, we have some cave trolls fighting as well against the cavalry, the lancers. They're going to try their best just to whittle them down. I mean, killing these wargs now will be good because it means they can't get anywhere through. But Apollo needs to get these guys out of here as the wargs push on and try and chase down our army as we try and withdraw back to a more defensive position. You can see my archers are getting up the hill and forming up here. Their bows are ready. Their quivers are starting to get empty though, and that's again a bit of an issue. The fact that we're starting to run out of ammunition is going to be painful, because if we run out of all our arrows, then we're going to have to rely on our swordsmen to do the work, and I feel like we just don't have enough men to do that. The wargs do manage to get into the back of some of our archers, which is again absolutely huge for them. If they can whittle down our numbers before we even get a chance to form up and get our defensive wall. Because, you know, Apollo does have a bunch of heavy swords left, which is good. And we do have a ton of archers left, which are going to be volleying into the Uruk crossbowmen. And the swordsmen are going to catch them and deal with them, because these guys are going to fall back. So dealing with the missile force is good, but still, look how many troops they have left. Absolutely brutal. Their numbers are endless. And this is awesome, you know. Unfortunately, you can't really get a battle like this in Warhammer. You know, a battle which has lasted this long, which has just been a back and forth, a grind fest, where we're hugely outnumbered, but we are holding our line, and, you know, we're retreating back and falling. You just don't really get this in Warhammer, which is a real shame. But maybe, you know, Warhammer definitely has its own style of battles. But I definitely miss these epic third age battles. As you can see, our archers are just volleying over, trying to whittle away at these huge numbers still coming in. But by the looks of it, this Mordor player still has half his army left, if not more. And we also do have some sturdy Urukai right here, which are pushing forward. And again, we didn't even take a look at the amount of casualties lying dead here. Luckily, I'm seeing a lot of dead Uruks and trolls, which is good. And I guess that's something which is in our favour, which is really in our favour, I should say, is the fact that they don't have a lot of trolls left, or if any trolls left. I think we've managed to push them back completely. You can see some of my men forming shields from right here as the orcs make their final push. This is where we will hold them. The balance of power is definitely not in my favour, or in our favour. Me and Apollo will try our best to hold this line, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to, as they just absolutely pour in. But look how awesome that looks. The ballistae is shooting hard on our lines right now, and every hit they get, like, that was a huge hit for the evil players. Killing like 5 or 6 of our soldiers is just going to make them like a really, you know, much easier job right here, because we do not have numbers left. Look, this is all we have left, and every single ballistae shot they shoot is going to be so big. They do still have 1 unit of trolls left. Or 1 cave. I think this is the lone cave troll right now. He's being fought back with the spears, though. The elves are not going to let them into their formation. We are routing a few warriors, but look how many men they still have left. I keep on bringing this up, but I don't think we have enough arrows to deal with this. I really like what Apollo's done with his line. Our archers are definitely shooting on the enemy. They do try and push forward onto the ballistae to try and get them, but Apollo does answer very soon with the elven swords. That is no orc horn. That is an elven horn. If only we had some elves coming to support us in this battle. 300 would be nice. Where are Gladriel? Where are you, Gladriel? Send me your soldiers. If only we had them helping us out. As the troll is still fighting in the back line. Hopefully we can take care of this and deal with it. Because at the moment it's just running back and forth, hitting our soldiers in the back. As you can see though, the archer fire is pretty good for us. You know, we're still definitely racking up kills with our archers. It's just whether our sword line can hold. That's going to be the main thing as the ballistae come in and get so many massive hits. Wow, that killed so many of our soldiers. And every soldier matters right now for us. Every soldier matters. I think these are the more elite Mordor soldiers. Yeah, these are the trained orcs from Mordor. No, not mindless orcs. The amount of archer fire is just brutal. The berserkers have been pushed up now as well. Oh my god, again, huge hits from the ballista. Look at that. That just killed like 15 guys. And I think we only have roughly around about 500 soldiers left maybe, if that. So, you know, killing every one of these soldiers is massive. And then we have the catapult coming in. Absolutely slaughtering our men. That got like 50 kills. Well, not 50 kills, but like 20 kills right there. So as you can see, our numbers are dwindling right now. But we will not give up. We will fight to a bitter end. Some of our archers even having to be committed into the battle. Just because we don't have any more infantry left to send. The ballistae as well. Just look at that again. Every single shot is just taking down our soldiers. We need to stick our men in loose formation if we stand a chance. And these Uruk pikemen are fresh. They haven't really been fighting in this battle, which is going to give them a huge advantage. Luckily, Apollo managed to push through back here. I think another huge catapult hit by the sounds of it came in just then. And the rest of the orc army is advancing now. And again, the advisor is telling us that defeat seems almost certain. But if this is going to end in fire, then we shall all burn together. We will take down as many Uruks as possible. We will not let our deaths be in vain. If this is to be our end. And again, look at these catapult hits. My god, they are burning so many of our own men. It is just so brutal. And it just is such a good fire position right now. Just volleying it. Oh, look how epic that looks. Look at that. Look at that right there. That looks absolutely amazing. This is... I love Medieval 2. And I love Third Age. It looks amazing. The mountains, the amount of soldiers fighting. You've got more soldiers advancing on the left side right there. You just can't get better than this. You really can't. I think he's going to advance the catapults up now and move him a bit closer to the enemy line. We have our own ballistae now shooting back at the enemy forces, trying to whittle them down. We are routing a few of them, and really that's going to be our only saving graces if we can rout them. Our soldiers are sturdy. Our soldiers are, are trained fighters. These guys will fight to the death because they know there is no escape. So that's all we have to do. More catapult shots coming in, and again getting some massive hits. Even if he does kill some of his own men, it's kind of worth it to do so. More ballistae shots coming in. And again, another massive hit right there. This is so brutal. Every single enemy shot is just so dangerous. Some of the enemy's troops are routing. But look, they still have, 2 fresh units of Uruk warriors right here. So sending in the orc band and the Morn, whatever they're, the guard of the orcs, is going to be good because it's going to tire our soldiers out. It's going to whittle them down. We're going to be wasting our ammunition from our archers down on these guys. That's a pretty good ballistae shot though, but still every single shot is going to be, just not the targets we need to be hitting. We need to be hitting the Urukai. We just don't have a clean shot on them right now. As the Sindar elves fight hard. Are these my Sindar elves? Yeah, these are Sindar archers right now. Fighting against the Uruks. But still, look at this. He still has more men. Has some berserkers stashed away right here. Some guards of Orthanc ready, and obviously, as you guys know, this is an elite Isengard unit. It's not looking good for us. Even though the balance of power is slowly shifting in our favour, the advisor now says it once more. that defeat almost seems certain, because our infantry are starting to get whittled down. 45 left in this unit, 44 in that Mifflin noble unit, and you guys saw the type of soldiers they still have left. More infantry pouring in. The uruks are ready to move in. Again, so many of our soldiers burning. We're starting to run out of arrows as well, and that's when the danger zone really hits, when we just don't have any more arrows in our quivers. The uruks are overwhelming our position right here, getting round the flanks, surrounding Apollo's position. More catapult shots coming in. Luckily, only killing a few of them, and these uruks are going to be pushing on our back line, which is extremely smart of them. Oh, these aren't actually uruks, these are just orcs. Okay, my mistake. Sorry if I've been mispronouncing them. And by the looks of it, it's going to force Apollo to send in his warriors, his elven archers, into the combat just to reform this line. Because this right side is completely broken right now. The archers have fallen. All the swords have been overwhelmed by the spearmen. Defeat does seem almost certain. And by the looks of it, the uruk players, the urukai player, has decided to go in for the kill right now. He's moving up his urukai. And we're going to get a nice little outflank on our swordsman right here. We just don't really have the arrows, the men to send right now. I'm going to be sending off a volley. And Apollo is going to be trying to burn these ballistae. Because they've been killing so many of our soldiers. So we're going to try our best to burn them with our fire arrows. And we're going to be doing the exact same with the catapult as well, if that comes any closer. Almost a massive hit there. We got our soldiers way too clumped up. We're having to send in our infantry to fight. You can see my archers right now are having to go in. They have no ammunition left, and we just have to move in and try our best to fight these guys. A pretty cool kill animation. We have the high elves coming in to support us now as well. Luckily, a lot of these catapults are missing, because if they got a huge hit here with the catapult, it would be GG right now. At the moment, we kind of still stand a chance. But we must have like 200, 300 men left, if that. Probably nowhere not even close to that. Whereas they still have close to like 600, 700 men. Luckily though, our warriors are strong. We killed one of the enemy generals. However, I believe by that point, that army didn't have any soldiers left in it anyway. So that's not going to be too bad. Luckily, we got this little bit of protection right here, protecting these archers from the catapult. Which is kind of nice for us. But these fresh urukai are moving in now. The ballistae still shooting constantly. Look how many dead elves are here. And our archers are going to have to go into the meat grinder to try anything to survive. I mean, whoever wins this battle is going to receive huge casualties on either side. Apollo's fire archers still trying to take care of the ballistae, trying to set them ablaze. One of my Sindar archers right here, advancing back. He looks extremely happy, considering he's so far behind enemy lines, fighting the urukai. The elven lines are sturdy. That's one thing that we have seen this battle, how strong the elven lines have been. Luckily missing the shots there. I think we lost a few soldiers there. Or actually an urukai unit got blown up by the catapult there. And a few of them getting surrounded. But the guards of Orthanc are moving up now. And they're going to try their best to get into this little breach right here, which has been created. Another catapult shot just missing. This one killing not as many as it could have, which is nice for us.
The enemy army flees the field.
Volley down. So I think that's the army which we killed the general of. So they still have plenty of soldiers left. But the guards of Orthanc are going to be moving on. And the elves are going to meet them and charge in to stop them from getting onto the ballistae and the rest of the archers. A necessary sacrifice. I believe they were out of ammunition anyway. And look at that. So many of our archers just killed by the catapults. And a huge hit there by the ballistae. Just tearing through like 6 or 7 dudes. And again, we just can't do this. If we expect to win this battle, we just can't do that. Catapult again finding a perfect hit. Luckily not hitting any of the guards as well. And another mass. Look at that. Oh my god. We just lost like 10% of the remainder of our army right there with one catapult hit. So brutal. And again, it's just relentless. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to defeat the guards of Orthanc. If I zoom out, you can see kind of a bigger picture. There's so many dead bodies though. And we just don't have a lot of infantry. We're having to send in a lot of our weaker archers. Like these archers for Apollo aren't the best in the world. Like they're okay at obviously missiles, but when they go into melee combat, they're going to struggle, especially against guards of Orthanc and the Uruk pikemen, which are, oh no, the orc pikemen. Oh, these are the uruk halberds, which are fighting in their side as well. A large portion of the guards of Orthanc have pushed on. I have my general up here, which is hiding currently. He's ready to get rested, and he's going to be our last chance, our last reserve. If he has to go in, then we know things are desperate. I mean, things are pretty desperate. I have a few woodland sentinels as well. Luckily, them catapult shots missed. But yeah, I have a few woodland sentinels still shooting out at the guards of Orthanc, trying to whittle their numbers down. We are managing to break here, but again, they still have an entire unit of berserkers left. This is a fresh unit of berserkers, which, again, we just don't have the men to deal with this. I have some archers as well. Luckily, that's not too much of an issue. We are going to rout these guys and try and get round, but they still have, as we said, an entire unit of berserkers. The guards of Orthanc. Balance of power has shifted back into their favour. Both armies losing over 90% of their forces. I'm going to be trying to move my archers round the side to then volley up into the side of their warriors up here. If I can, I think these Sylvan heavy archers still have some ammunition left, so I'm going to be trying to pick away at the berserkers before they come in. And the berserkers and the guards of Orthanc will fight to the death. So this is literally the two sides now locked in just mortal combat right now. Oh my god, and these catapults are still shooting. My archers are going to be loading up their bows, trying to get some shots off into the backs of the berserkers. They're going to be moving their orc marauders. Oh, these are orc archers, are they? Oh, nice. Friendly fire. That's exactly what we need. He's even going to be moving in his ballista crew just to try and silence our archers from shooting, which is a really smart move. As well as that, he's going to reform his uruk halberds and his black Numenorians into my cavalry. And they're going to be doing good. Definitely going to be a smart move doing this. The guards of Orthanc, you can see our center is completely broken right now. Apollo's down to 88 elven archers here, and that's literally his entire army. I have like 68 of my warriors, some sentinels which will get cut down by the berserkers which are now moving in, and just this small unit. So we have about 200 soldiers left, and the enemy have like maybe 300, 400. I did say this battle was going to be a super close one, and I hope you guys were not disappointed. More. Oh, again, that is so big right now. Every single huge hit. Look at that. Just whittling these guys down from 46, I think they were before. Just every 10 soldiers is just so important. And now the berserkers are coming in. This is going to be the true test. If we can deal with these berserkers, we will claim victory. But what do we have to send to deal with these berserkers? My general? If my general dies, we'll lose the battle. Some woodland sentinels, they're not going to be able to deal with these guys. I'm trying my best to whittle them down with archer fire before they get closer to me. And you can see my general is now having to go in. The advisor again tells us that defeat seems almost certain. He has not been our fan whatsoever. I'm going to get a good charge off my famous last stand with these elves into the side, trying to bring back my woodland sentinels because I know they're not going to do good in melee combat. So ideally, I just want these guys to shoot as many arrows as they can. My general is already extremely bloody, but he knows this is his final resting place, and he will go down. He will make it such an end. Where are the riders of Rohan when we needed them? The last orc general right here from Mordor should be going down, but he has no soldiers left, just his general. I think Apollo managed to destroy both the catapults with his ballista, which is huge for us. The orc general still alive. My Sylvan heavy archers over here have been cut down or poked to death by the halberds. Apollo's sword or Apollo's archers are actually doing pretty decently against the guards of Orthanc. They're down to 20. The amount of archer fire we managed to put in on them really helped us out. However, these berserkers are still up.
Our men have slain the enemy.
There's another one of the enemy generals going down. Apollo. So that's one of the enemy armies going now. But yeah, Apollo's having to push in his siege engineers now. just any soldiers we have just to try and win the day. Balance power is slowly going into our favor. But it's just whether or not my general can survive, because my general has to be fighting here. If my general doesn't fight here, then my men will just not be strong enough to defeat this. All I have left is some woodland sentinels and my general unit. And this unit of Sylvan heavy archers, which could go at any time.
The fortune of battle goes our way.
Oh, finally, yeah. He's such a this advisor is such a Lannister.
Like this, we will smash
Waiting till the end of the battle to really make a proper decision, coming crawling back. But it's definitely not over yet. Luckily, I do have my archers shooting into the back of these berserkers. Every single hit is going to be massive, trying to whittle down their HP. It's going to be pretty big, but my general unit is down to 35 soldiers now. As you can see, my actual general is extremely bloody. The Guards of Orthanc Apollo is managing to overwhelm them now, which is extremely good. There's so much wanted death in this battle. The last stand of either side. So it does look like we are going to push on now. The archer fire into the side of these berserkers is pretty big. We're cleaning out the Guards of Orthanc, and that's by the looks of it the rest of the enemy forces. So you can probably guess by now that we are going to claim victory right now, and unless the general dies, but it doesn't look like we do. The berserkers are going to run on. The Guards of Orthanc are going to be routed, and there we go. We are going to claim victory. The berserkers obviously won't rout, they will stand to the last.
Victory will be ours.
But we are going to, eventually cut them down. It's whether our generals can survive or not. You got some more high elf archers now, shooting into the side, and then we got the archers which have run out of ammunition, charging in to claim victory. So I hope you guys were not disappointed by this battle. As I said, it is one of the closest battles. This battle could have gone either way for sure. Say if they got a few more massive catapult hits, like we have like under 100 men almost left from this battle. That's how close it was. Absolutely crazy. It was an epic battle. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and a comment, please. And I'll be sure to do more battles like this. Because it's not laggy as well, so we can have these massive third age battles. And the lag isn't there whatsoever like it is in Attila. Obviously, the graphics are a reason for that. But, having these massive battles that are just absolutely awesome. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. So this is the last stand. We have the Isengard General right here. And there's not going to be many of them left. There's only 9 of them left. But we will watch their last stand. We've sat here and watched the rest of it. And they have fought bravely. I will not take that away from the evil faction. So we will watch their last stand as the elves claim victory. But at what cost? The elves lost like their entire army. As we can see, only like 100 soldiers left. So the elves only have like no men left either. At least the uruks, the uruks and the Mordor armies, at least quite a few of their units routed away from the battlefield. So they still have somewhat of an army left, whereas the elves are just completely stripped. I think there's how many of them left now? 4, bravely. They do still have their general left as well. I like that he put him in a berserker unit. But we can take this time just to literally just look at that. Killing the enemy general, not letting him escape. And you just look at the amount of dead laying back here. And this was just one of the parts of this battle as well. You guys saw how many dead up there. How many dead casualties were taken up there. So let's just take a moment before this battle ends, just to look up here. We'll pause it.
This is a clear victory.
Just to, before we end the battle, I want to take a look just for the amount of dead bodies, because I know it'll pop up with something on the screen when we look at who killed what and everything. Just the amount of death is absolutely insane. So many casualties up here. This was such a good battle, and this is why I love Medieval 2 Total War. Just the way the battles work, how we had, an hour to defend and we fell back and held the line. And that's something, Warhammer does try to achieve in the sieges, but it just doesn't feel the same. The amount of dead on their way up here. And then finally in the valley as well. The Valley of Death. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's just so awesome. Over here, so many brave warriors fought and died. And as well as that over here as well. So many brave warriors. So that was an absolutely awesome battle. I do beg you guys to drop a like and drop a comment. as the rain pours down to wash away these warriors. It feels like a battle was held here. And there we go, a clear victory for me and Apollo. GG to our opponents, they fought extremely well. The evil factions obviously aren't that great, but you can see I am coming huge with over 4,500 kills right there, which was really, really good. This orc player almost brought 4,000 warriors. Wow. Because, I mean, I brought 4,000. These guys brought, what, between them, like, 9, almost 10. So there's almost 14,000 people fighting in this battle. Absolutely crazy. It's like 13,500, maybe a bit more. If we look at kills, we can see that my Sylvan Heavy Archers went in. Almost 600 kills on this unit. This one getting 500. This one getting 400, 320 on my General. The elves proved their worth with a bow today. But even my Sentinels of a Woodland Realm getting 300 and 200. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. As I said, just on the way up to here, make sure to drop a like and a comment. If you want to see more Third Age, either send me in replays by the email address down below in the description, or just, just tell me in the comments that you want to see more Third Age battles like this. And I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.